Hello, hello, the wonderful world of YouTube. This is kind of a impromptu live. I decided to go public uh, with a live stream this Sunday afternoon. I know it's football Sunday, and it's probably not the most opportune time, but hey, the time works for me to be able to interact with you guys as it relates to your journey with government contracting by way of the DLA. Um, so, welcome all who may be chiming in to take a look at what the DLA guru is cooking today. I had promised you guys this is my very second live stream that I decided to put together. My plan is to do more of these public live streams outside of the members only um, uh, members only forum with my CMCC club. What basically this is a way of interacting more with the public, the general public. Those of you who may be new to my content, new to me, or who have watched a handful of my videos, but just want to kind of get to know me on a more personal level as relates to my journey with government contracting in general, and more specifically, government contracting with the DLA. As you guys know, my name is Kiwi Hendricks, better known as the DLA Guru. And I've been contracting with the DLA for the past 20 years or so, and have found some success in how to build teams, forge relationships with vendors, and understanding requirements and how to navigate the vast array of business opportunities that the DLA posts on a daily basis. And just thought it'd be a great time to get involved on a more personal level and providing mentorship, consulting services, and training to newcomers to government contracting and the DLA. So hey, this is a great platform for it, the world of YouTube. So it looks like we got 3 concurrent viewers in the building. I got 2 likes that have come in. Thanks for the likes. Today's live stream, I try to do these public live streams for about an hour. And it really is going to be a function of the engagement that I receive from you guys. So looks like we have 6 viewers in the building, which is awesome. Hey, thanks again for joining us. I have opened up the chat for subscribers only. So if you have a question or a comment as it relates to the DLA, your journey with the DLA, getting access to DIBBS, or just any types of general questions that you may have, feel free to drop them in the chat. And also, if you're looking at the chat, I've also pinned in the comment section of the chat a link to a listserv that you can feel free to sign up for free. And you basically exchange your email for the opportunity to download my free ebook that's entitled The DLA Need to Know Guide. And it's a very comprehensive write-up of some of the high-level points that I think would benefit you in your journey of getting to know who the DLA is and how to navigate doing business with the DLA and being successful in doing business with the DLA. So feel free to click that hyperlink and drop in your email. And when you do that, you'll get an email that's sent to you with a link where you can download the free ebook. It's about, I think the book is about 6 or 7 pages long, and it has some, again, great information. Just, doing business with the federal government is really about having information, having an understanding of who the customer is, and understanding how your business can be positioned to service that customer. As you guys know, in my first public live stream, I set these up to have a quick presentation that some things that I think would benefit the general public as it relates to your journey with the DLA. And for those of you that may be busy watching football this Sunday and not available to watch the live stream, it'll be available for the replay as well. So feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and to let friends, family, other business colleagues, people that you may be training to do business with you and working with the DLA, let them know that the DLA Guru is in the building. So feel free to forward this live stream post to those interested parties. Let's see. So we got 8 viewers in the building. Thank you for the 8 viewers. Feel free to drop me a note to let me know who you are. I see you guys reviewing, just to say hello. Let me know that you're there. A lot of the engagement lets me know that, you know, what I'm cooking over here means something to you. So your interaction with me means a ton. And by all means, please, you know, click the like button, because that gets the algorithm cooking a little bit, and helps to send my message out to more people who may be interested in learning more about the DLA. Okay, we got Angel from Dallas, Texas. Angel, thanks for joining us this afternoon. And it's fantastic to hear that you're in Dallas, because believe it or not, I'm in Dallas as well. I work in both Dallas and St. Louis, so I spend a lion's share of my time here in Dallas. So it's fantastic to have some folks that are interested in learning more about the DLA in my neck of the woods as it relates to geography. Let's see, your home. Okay. All right. Angel, you have a home healthcare agency. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I actually have a cousin who runs a home healthcare business here in Dallas as well. It's a lot of opportunity for home healthcare for sure. And if Angel, you're interested in the DLA, has a lot to. If you're interested in diversifying your business, being home healthcare, my mind automatically thinks that you know, maybe medical products might be something that's in your backyard because you have access to those vendors. The DLA buys medical supplies in support of our troops, and so the DLA could potentially be a great customer for you. And Angel, if you're interested in learning more about how to get involved with the DLA, I have a lot of different venues that I've created in the past like 13 months that I've been doing this work on, the work of you know, government contractors on YouTube. But you know, I offer some master classes to help you hit the ground running, to give you a methodology and an approach. And again, you know, I've been working with the DLA for the past 20 years. And so having this experience that I'm able to just be very transparent and let you guys know, you know, hey, this is how I've navigated. I've skinned my knee this way so that you don't have to skin your knee. So it's always great to have someone that's willing to work with you. And hey, that's me. All right, cool. So again, I'll be talking tonight for about an hour. And again, you know, it's all going to be predicated off of questions that you have. So Angel, if you have any direct questions about your journey, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll do my best to field it within this forum. It's a little more difficult just to see messages come in, but at least there's an engagement that you can get. And if you're interested in having a more, you know, personable, I guess, interaction with me, feel free to join my membership. There's a join button within the YouTube profile there that you can join at the commander level. And we do bi-monthly meetings where I literally invite you onto StreamYard, and we turn on our cameras, and it's in a classroom forum where we can interact and talk and on a more personal level. Because I always say that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so that's just a way that you can begin to engage with me on a more personal level. Cool. So without any further ado, I want to just dive into my presentation for you guys today. And it's nothing major, but I just thought it would be good to kind of share this with you. And let's see, let me click on the share. Okay, well, actually, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. So for those of you that may be new to my content and new to who I am, my name is Key Hendricks. I'm the U.S. government sales manager with the National Material Supply Company. I'm also known as the DLA Guru, and the reason why I've kind of taken that name is because I've gotten 20 years of receipts of doing business with not only within the federal government contracting arena, but also with the world's largest customer, the DLA. And so I kind of took that name because I thought it was kind of catchy. And I think that I can definitely back up being in a position to provide you guys with some guidance as it relates to your businesses, or, you know, just supporting you from that perspective, because I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into our business to get us to the point of where we are now. So that's what that's all about. For those of you who have not subscribed to my channel, Please hit the subscribe button. I think this next slide is going to talk a little bit about the subscription. Please hit the subscribe button. Click the like button. Let me know you like what I'm cooking over here, especially if you looked at a lot of the videos. I got an email last week. We use vidIQ to kind of help us navigate YouTube, and it said we had over 80,000 views of the videos in the past 13 months. And that's pretty awesome that the work that I'm putting in to kind of just share information is being well received by your viewership. So I really appreciate that. But as you guys can see, my subscription level is fairly low for all the views. So I would really appreciate, it doesn't cost you anything just to hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me. And it helps. It's my fuel. It's my internet fuel to keep going. And by all means, if a lot of my content has helped you to, get your dibs or get involved with the DLA on some level, and you're just trying to figure it out on your own without necessarily, seeking more in-depth master classes, which I recommend because I think it'll definitely help you. But you'll see the scrolling marquee at the bottom there. I appreciate all donations that you guys have been sending me since I launched the channel. But my Cash App, Venmo, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I think there's an app called Buy Me a Coffee, and so you can feel free to drop me $1 or $2 or however much you want to drop based on the value, the knowledge that you guys are getting from me. It just shows your appreciation to me, and I really appreciate that. Hey, Tamia Smalls. Oh, Tamia. I'm sorry, Tamia Smalls. Let's see. Hey, thanks for the comment. I'll read it out loud. My business is a logistics freight broker. Just got all set up in DIBBS, looking to concentrate on products, waiting on my woman-owned small business certification. Fantastic, Tamia. And sorry for butchering your name there, but welcome to the DLA family. Because embarking on DIBBS, it's today's presentation is going to talk a lot about for those of you who are new to DIBBS, that it is it's not an easy customer to satisfy, but it's one of the biggest customers in the federal government to satisfy, and the barriers to entry are so low. And so today's topic, it's going to really cover today's presentation is two topics. First one is how to succeed with DLA and DIBBS. All right. So there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, of course. Some ways you get scratched, some ways you don't. And so, every company's journey based on your industry that you're in will be different as it relates to, your level of success with the DLA and DIBBS. But I always tell, like, my team and just my journey, it has always been one where it's a mindset, so anything that you get involved with, Tamia, she's a freight broker, logistics services, Angie, who I haven't met, I'm sorry, Angel, who I haven't met, she's home healthcare. So you guys know that getting in business and satisfying customers and making money and increasing your revenues and your profit, your margin, things like that, it's never going to be easy. But the way that we as entrepreneurs get through this is through a robust mindset. I mean, being tenacious, never giving up. And even when you fail or you don't achieve, that sale, that you don't take it personally, like trying to have emotion to keep you going, but not allowing that same emotion to tear you down, because a lot of times, if you get a lot of no's, you get discouraged and you just want to give up. And government contracting, not even just thinking about the DLA, is really about a mindset of success, believing in yourself, believing in your team. And when you don't win that contract, or when you don't achieve, that particular, let's say, that KPI, your key performance indicator as it relates to your business, whether it may be, however many contracts you win based on the number of solicitations you bid on. If you're not achieving the level that you set out to, then understanding the why behind it versus saying it just doesn't work. The mindset that you have to have with government contracting is you want to be a continuous student. You always want to continuously learn. Even my 20 years of doing business with the DLA, we are, as an organization, are consistently and constantly learning. So we don't have a 100% hit ratio. No company does. So there's, as you guys know about the DLA, or if you don't know this about the DLA, they award over 10,000 supply contracts every single day. So think about that. 10,000. They spend about $54 billion every single year buying everything you can think of as it relates to supporting the Department of Defense. So they're buying vehicles, they're buying spare parts, they're buying things for tanks and trains, automobiles, aircraft. You know it. The DLA, or I should say, you name it, the DLA is buying those types of products in support of our warfighter. And so, uh, just because you don't win it today doesn't necessarily mean you won't have a chance to win it tomorrow, because the DLA is buying consumable items. These are things that they're buying over and over again because they have a fleet of Jeeps or a fleet of tanks that they're servicing and providing the spare parts to keep the warfighter capable of protecting the United States interests, abroad, globally. So we have one of the largest militaries on the face of the earth, and there's a lot of money that it takes to and services that it takes to keep that warfighter strong. And the DLA is the conduit between products and contractors and the Department of Defense as it relates to products, right? And so within those products, the DLA does about 84%. This was as of last year. The numbers were 84% of the procurements of that $54 billion or so budget that they spend, or that spend cycle. It was earmarked to small businesses. 84%. So that's a huge percentage. So the DLA is very small business centric. Now keep in mind, they do business with the bigger companies, the Boeings, the Northrops, the Raytheons of the world, Lockheeds of the world, but they are very small business centric. And so as you guys get more involved in my content, you'll see that, I always put information in the description. So if you're clicking on my videos, take a look at the description, absorb that information in there, because a lot of things I can't talk about in the videos, or I forget to talk about in the videos, but I put all those little nuggets of information in my descriptions, where there may be links to different sites that you can visit to learn more about the DLA, links to how you can get more involved in my higher level training, like again, my DLA masterclasses, as well as how to schedule one-on-ones with me if you're interested in speaking offline and just working from a contracted consulting perspective. I can assist you guys with that mindset formation. So it's really about how you go about and planning your approach to government contracting, knowing that you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of doors that kind of shut in your face. One, because you're new to it. And there are a lot of incumbent companies that have been doing this for 10, 20 years that have established a low risk, a low risk approach from a government procurement perspective, where the government says, hey, these guys have been here for a while because Uncle Sam does not like risk. They like to know that if I buy this, it will be delivered on time. It will be the right product and or service. And so, hey, let's keep working with that company until another company comes in and challenges that, because the federal acquisition regulation is it's by law that if you're able to come in and provide a competitive price, and you have that track record behind you and the right team behind you, and you know how to check those boxes and answer those questions, that you will get a shot at stealing some of that business away from some of the incumbent companies. So a lot of that has to do with mindset. You have to have the right mindset to move forward there. Also, I recommend seeking training, because the training, whether it be through my organization, my consulting business, or through other content creators that may be out in the GovCon space, seeking training and mentorship will only add to you from a mindset perspective, because especially folks that are providing consulting services that have done it or are currently doing it. So our company is currently an active DLA vendor. So in addition to providing consulting services, we're active. So we are in the trenches as it relates to knowing about the newest regulations that are coming down the pipe, and some of the experience that we've had with working with the DLA for the past 20 years. We have a lot of data points to kind of know the ebbs and flows of the federal procurement processes as it relates to the DLA. So all that type of information comes from your interaction with consultants that can provide training. Let's see. Hey, Tamia. So you said you enjoy my videos and channel. Great information. Thank you, Tamia, and I appreciate that. I great comment. You wouldn't believe how that makes me feel, just hearing people that can reach out to me that I've never met, that tell me that they are really appreciating the hard work that I've been putting in to try to give you guys real information that really, in my opinion, means something. It's something that I think will empower you as federal contractors, and it has a lot to do with just my experience. Being in this space and adding value to each and every one of you. So thank you for that comment. So with that said, things with the DLA are all about seeking training either where it be with consultants and or working directly with the DLA. But I will tell you guys this, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The DLA is not as easy to get information from direct. I mean, they have the Office of Small Business Programs that you can definitely reach out to and ask questions as it relates to any contracts that you're working on. And those groups within the different commands are there to help you as small businesses. But they award over 10,000 contracts a day. So just keep in mind that they are fairly overwhelmed with a lot of different vendors asking questions, and sometimes you kind of got to take a number. And so being able to outsource some of the training outside of the DLA, I think, will help you 10x your business, because you'll be working with vendors who are actually in the trenches right there along with you. And so just having that mindset of connecting with consultants and seeking training for folks who have the receipts to show that they have been there, done it, and have the t-shirt to show it, is what I like to say. So that is pretty much the presentation that I had today. I just wanted to just throw that out because I think a lot of times folks are, really unsure, like you lose that kind of excitement when you find yourself bidding on contracts and not winning. And, if you bid, let's say you bid on 100 contracts and let's say you win 5. Does that mean you give up? No, it doesn't mean you should give up. You know what I mean? Because the mindset is such that you want to find out why you didn't win those other 95 opportunities. You want to learn from why you didn't win by taking a look at who the vendors were that beat you out, looking at their pricing, looking at their business model, understanding if there may be opportunities for you to partner with those vendors, because as Tamia mentioned, that she's working on her woman-owned small business certification. Having those set aside, I mean, the DLA, like any federal agency, has set aside opportunities. So if you're a woman-owned or veteran-owned, a hub zone, or even 8A, there are opportunities for you to partner with incumbent companies that don't have those certifications, where you guys, by teaming, may go after DLA solicitations under the auspices of those set aside programs. So within my training, I teach you ways that you can move the needle in that direction, like literally looking at unrestricted solicitations, reaching out to those contracting officers and letting them know, hey, when you guys go to buy this again, hey, we can provide the same service. And if you would like to, consider having the next solicitation that you release be a woman-owned small business set aside, in order to have my company as well as other women-owned businesses compete. The DLA is that type of customer that they will consider that, but you have to let them know that you exist. The DLA is not going to go out looking for you. That's the beauty of DIBBS. The DLA's internet bid board system is designed to make procurement easy for the DLA. The DLA doesn't have a team that's going out trying to find woman-owned businesses. What they're doing is basically saying, hey, you guys come to us and let us know what you can do. You provide us with prices on the products that we're looking for, And it's up to you as a small business owner to navigate that and to find ways to capitalize on all that great information and all those contacts that you see on those solicitations, and reaching out to them and never taking no for an answer. That's what the DLA is about. So those 95 that you may have not won, don't don't think of it as like, oh, this doesn't work, or this is rigged, or this is not designed for businesses like mine to win. No, it's designed for those businesses that keep on bidding, that try to get better. If you're working with a vendor that's giving you high prices, guess what? You got to find another vendor, or you have to really work with that vendor and find out why their price points are so high. Maybe that vendor isn't buying it directly from the OEM. Maybe they're buying it from another vendor. So it's where you have to start doing the analysis and doing the deep dives. I mean, and really trying to get to the source of supply in order to get the best prices. And then there's also another component with the DLA, where you can do and work with manufacturers. Either you can manufacture these products if you have access to manufacturing capabilities, or you can outsource some of the manufacturing to special order items. These are not consumable items per se. These are more built to order items. The DLA buys a ton of built to order items. So, just getting involved in manufacturing is also an avenue for success with the DLA. But again, you learn all this with my training, and again, the public forum with YouTube. There's information just to kind of get your palate wet. But if you're really serious about doing business with the DLA, linking up and exchanging value with consultants is the key, because the 20 years of experience that I have, as well as other folks that are in the space that have experience, that means something. So that's blood, sweat, and tears. There's an intrinsic value associated with that. And if you're able to get lucky enough to link up with folks that want to share their information, hey, you got to give something to get something. And so that's booking a session. That's investing in yourself and taking our training. Because within my training classes, I definitely link it to where if you take the training, it's just not you take the training, you never hear from me. You literally take the training. When you graduate from those training classes and you get your certificate of completion, you get a bonus 1 hour training with me, yours truly, the DLA guru, where we can talk shop, talk about the class, talk more about your company. So it's really about that touch aspects of it. And I'm at the ground floor of getting involved in the YouTube space. So I have enough energy in me in order to reach out to you guys and reach out. Well, have you be able to reach out and touch me, versus, having hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and now he's untouchable. So this is a great time for those of you who are getting involved with government contracting, because we're growing together. And this is, again, just a great time to connect with me, in my opinion. So I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to tell you too, thanks for watching the presentation that I have here. Now, this doesn't close the live stream by any stretch of the imagination. I'm still waiting on any questions that you guys may have to come into the chat. Just drop me a couple of questions and I'll be able to do my best to talk shop. Right now, I don't see any direct questions. I know we have 12 viewers in the building. I welcome all who of those of you who are in the building. I know we have at least 2 comments in the two watchers who have put some comments. And so if anyone else has some comments to put into the chat, feel free by all means. Now, in order to leave a comment, you must be a subscriber. So make sure you click the subscribe button, click the like button, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I decide to do impromptu live events like this, where I can be accessible via chat to answer as many questions as I can within the allotted time. It looks like we have another question coming in. Do you help with finding our winning or niche product? Yeah, so yes, I do. And the way that I'm able to assist you when we do the training, the one-on-one, is really understanding more about your company, understanding more about your experience, what you've done in your life as it relates to industries that you've worked in, What types of products do you potentially have access to? And not only just access, but products that you know about, because it's a poison pill for you to try to get involved with the DLA and selling to them things that you have no idea what it is. Because one, you're not going to be able to talk the lingo in that particular industry with manufacturers and vendors alike. They'll know once you start asking the wrong types of questions that you have no idea what you're talking about, right? And so it's always good to kind of start start with what you know, and then branching out with the DLA and finding out if they are buying what you know, like the products you know about, and then finding some success there. That way you can begin to build from that point where you can start reaching out into other industries because you began to get kind of a rhythm. And again, this links back, Angel, to this mindset that you'll begin to develop as it relates to understanding the procurement process with the DLA, understanding all the requirements that it may be. Let's say critical items that the DLA is buying, where they want same form, fit, and function from approved sources, or if you're working with a manufacturer and learning how to help that manufacturer become an approved source by way of a manufacturing licensing agreement, where this manufacturer may not know anything about the DLA. Because believe it or not, I don't know if you guys have searched on YouTube for the DLA's YouTube page, but they have an official YouTube page. And I think last time I checked, they have like 3,800 subscribers on the DLA's official YouTube page. So that just lets me know that the DLA is not doing a very good job of promoting who they are to industry. So we are in a fantastic position to know who they are and to be able to leverage that information to go out into the marketplace and align your company with vendors who have no idea who the DLA is, but at least you do, because you have that information, or you have a negotiating token to adding value. So you guys have heard the term value added resellers. Value added resellers means that you're bringing some value to the manufacturer, such that you're bringing some intrinsic value that the manufacturer didn't have, or didn't have to upfront pay for. And through a partnership with you, you're able to add value into the supply chain of knowing how to interpret DLA solicitations, knowing how to interpret the mill spec, the mill standard specifications, how to interpret the packaging requirements, the labeling requirements, how to ship, just understanding the full procurement processes that the DLA has in place, that a lot of OEMs and other companies just don't have the manpower to go figure that out. You as a reseller can learn that. That's the value you bring to that equation, such that when you do business with these companies, they know that they're working with a partner that has that understanding, and that way that they'll exchange or share the value with you, so that your company can profit and their companies can profit, and you can support the world's largest customer, the DLA. All right. So that's how I kind of go about it in a nutshell, Angel. But I would recommend, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about that whole process, in the description of this video, I have links to where you can find my email address, and I have it on screen here too as well. The fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Feel free to shoot me an email. That email comes directly to me. And any questions that you may have as it relates to what you feel your company needs, I'll be able to respond and provide you with the right links in the right direction to get you into the pipeline. I call it the DLA pipeline of success. All right. So I'll put you in the right pipeline based on where you're at with your company as it relates to your maturity into federal contracting. So feel free to connect with me on that. All right, cool. Great. All right. Thank you. Thank you again for that feedback there. And she says that's the intimidating part, but I'm willing to learn. Yeah. Yes. It can be daunting when you're out there by yourself, and not having a coach, to kind of help coach you along, and to someone that's there. Because I tell you, in the 20 years of me doing business with the DLA, I never had any coaches. Like, when I was young and out of college, and had that entrepreneurial spirit and learning more about federal contracting, I was burning the midnight oil on both ends. Like, I come from corporate America, so my background, if you guys haven't seen some of the videos floating around, mechanical engineering was my undergraduate degree, and I had worked for some big companies in my past life as an engineer, and that's how I kind of got an understanding of like pumps and motors and just things that keep a plant going. And when I learned about the DLA and knowing that they buy those types of products, I knew what those products were, and that's how I was able to leverage my understanding of those products and working with vendors that provided those products to the plants that I was working in, and then being able to buy those same products and resell them to the DLA, and not only just resell them to the DLA, but understanding how, again, to interpret the solicitations, how to interpret packaging and labeling requirements, how to interpret, how to even invoice them to close the loop on the whole procurement process. And just understanding what the commands were all about, those types of products that what I'd like to call low hanging fruit. All that kind of came about in my journey without mentorship. I literally learned by doing, but it took me 20 years to do it. And so a lot of us just don't have that luxury of starting out at the ripe old age of 22 years old, getting involved in something like this. But for those of us that are a little, are new to it, and we may not have the luxury of being fresh out of college, that this is a great opportunity to work with someone like me, that I'm willing to share my knowledge base with you to assist your company, or to kind of give you, a little push in the right direction, and what I believe is the right direction. And not only with your company and you as a professional, but if you have younger folks in your family who may be in the 20 somethings that are interested or looking for an opportunity. I mean, I literally started working with the DLA when I was 22 years old, so I got out of college at 21, learned about the DLA and just federal contracting when I was 22, 23. So like my early 20s is when I hit the ground running as it related to being an entrepreneur. And I knew then that I wanted to focus on not only working in corporate America, because I went to school to be, the whole, you know, um, the whole experience of, going to college, getting a great job. I did all that, and then knowing that entrepreneurial spirit in me of needing to find a way out, because, being able to be your own boss, for those of you who run your own business, there's nothing like it, especially if you got a great customer that you can keep going back to, and finding ways to increase your revenues and sustain your business, and being able to share that type of information with the younger generation, I think, is paramount. So if you guys have access to nieces and nephews, or cousins, or just friends that have young folks, I think it's great to turn young people on to federal contracting, because they have that time to not only learn, but to build their businesses such that it could be something that gets big enough where they can have an opportunity to change the trajectory of their family, as it relates to sustainable businesses that you can hand down to the next generation, or at least give them opportunities outside of just the traditional venues that we have in this country. So yeah, federal government is definitely where it is for young people. So I recommend that too. Let's see here. We got a question from Tuta's Movie Corner. Are you offering any specials for your programs? Yeah, so we do run specials from time to time in order to, as a way to promote, an increase in subscribership and things like that to our master classes. If you're interested in learning more about, promotions that we may have, feel free to, matter of fact, what I recommend, in the chat, I pinned a comment where there's a link where you can submit your email address, and you will be able to download my free ebook entitled "The DLA Need to Know Guide." So it's a book that I wrote that I poured in to this book, just very fantastic nuggets, golden nuggets of learning more about who your customer is, the DLA. And by putting in your email address, you'll be part of my newsletter. And whenever we do have promotions and things like that, you'll you'll be privy to promotions that we offer with our course content. So hopefully that answers your question there. And hey, by the way, thank you for the likes that have come in. Looks like I have 8 likes and 13 viewers. It'd be great to have 13 likes if I can. So feel free, please hit the like button. Let me know that you're liking some of the information that I'm providing to the public into this public forum here. And that means a lot to me. And by all means, if you guys are really valuing my videos that are out there, I mentioned this earlier, as you see in the scrolling marquee there, feel free to drop me a token of your appreciation for all the hard work I put in. I think I have over 120 videos in my catalog that are all DLA specific. And, appreciate anything that you'd like to share with me via Cash App, Venmo, or buy me a coffee. You see it there at the DLA Guru. Anything any donation that you're willing to offer means a lot. I know last week I got a few donations that came in, and man, it just had me cheesing from cheek to cheek, because it just really helped me to understand the value that you guys are seeing in my content, and that you really truly appreciate my efforts in helping you guys, empowering you guys, and being successful with the DLA. So thank you for that. Let's see. We have another comment that's come in here from Priscilla. Priscilla says, what is a, I just hit the wrong button there. Sorry. Okay. Priscilla, I was looking at my time here. I got about 15 more minutes left. Yeah, I got, my plan was to have this go from 5 to 6. So we got about 15 minutes left in the, for this. So yeah, well, actually, you know what? If it goes longer than 15 minutes, it goes longer than 15 minutes. But let's see. So Priscilla, what is a good pricing strategy? Priscilla, I get that question asked of me a lot. And I always tell folks that a pricing strategy is really going to be predicated off of, what value that you can extract from what you are offering. So for example, in here, I hit the wrong button there. Let's put this back up on the screen. Okay, thanks for watching. Let's see. So a good pricing strategy will be you're making sure that you have a baseline, margin that you need to make on every product, on every solicitation that you're bidding on. And when I say a baseline, knowing that, let's say if you have an opportunity where you're looking to sell the DLA, 3,000 screws, for example, so DLA Aviation may have a solicitation for some hardware, and you found a vendor that you can get the hardware from, is, you're an exact match what the DLA is looking for. And you have, a baseline wholesale price from your vendor. And then, you're looking at the past award history. And so you see who the incumbents are, and you say, wow, there may be some margins. I may be able to make a profit on this deal and undercut the competition in order to provide best price, best availability. Then you have to factor in, for those 3,000 screws, there's going to be a packaging and shipping component, a handling component of that, right? So you have to say, okay, a lot of times the screws, they are what's called a QUP, which stands for quantity unit pack of 1, meaning they literally want 3,000 screws to be individually packaged with 3,000 Ziploc bags, 3,000 labels. So you have to factor in that unique service that the DLA needs from you, because if you can think of the DLA as like a big Home Depot, right? And so they're looking at us as vendors to stock their shelves. And so the DLA is looking for 3,000 little screws, like you will find like at Home Depot, in the individual packs with the UPC code on them and all that good stuff. And so as the warfighter needs those screws, they will come in and do purchase recs and basically buy the stock from the DLA that then gets shipped all over the world, to wherever the warfighter may need those screws. So the DLA needs a specialized service to help them with their supply chain activities. And so you, Priscilla, would have to just make sure that you understand how much time is going to take you to package 3,000 screws. How much time, how much money you want to be paid per hour for that specialized service, and load that cost, what I call an operating cost, into your unit price, such that if you get awarded the contract, fantastic. The DLA not only, pays for that service, but you make a profit on top of it. So The attitude is, hey, if I do all that, my price is so high. Well, that's just what your price is. That's because that's what it means. That's what it's worth to your organization. I mean, you have overhead, you have your office space, you have your electricity, you have handling costs, all that goes into it. Do not do business with the DLA and undercut yourself, because all the value then goes away from you and straight to the DLA. And you don't want the value to go to the DLA. And if you have other vendors that are undercutting you in one of those contracts and are able to um, perform at those levels, then so be it. Let them perform at those levels, because they won't be in business long performing and undercutting themselves just to get the business. So keep that in mind. And again, Priscilla, in my training and mentorship, my contracted consulting services, we can talk more shop on pricing strategies on actual solicitations that you're going after. If you have a subset of national stock numbers that you have access to, and you want to get some intel on how to go about, how I would recommend going about pricing those types of opportunities, just based on forecast and past award history and what the DLA is, what they potentially will be buying into the future, to know if you should be buying those screws in, let's say, in bulk, for example. Instead of just buying the 3,000 screws, maybe you buy 10,000 screws, because they're going to be buying 10,000 screws over the course of a year, because you get the economies of scale working with your OEMs, where you can reduce the cost even more, your wholesale pricing even more, because you're buying in bulk. Things like that. So we can talk more offline if you're interested in it. Again, my email address, Priscilla, is on screen there, and is also in the description of this video. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to schedule one-on-one to talk more shop there. Okay, I've got another question in. Hi, Kiwi. Waiting on my access to SCI Global. Can't wait to start bidding this month. Fantastic. I think that might be, I think that's James. All right, James, hopefully that's you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see you there. And yeah, hey, I reached back out to SCI Global on your behalf as well, and on Friday. So you should probably be getting your free trial, your 14-day free trial. I would say before Tuesday at the latest. But typically, when I chime in, they'll respond within 1 or 2 business days. So just be patient. It's coming. SCI Global, their onboarding, it can be a little slow at times. But once you're in, and you'll get the nice discount as it relates to the service as well. And I'm sure it'll add some value to you. All right, Priscilla. Yeah, thanks for that feedback on that. Very helpful. Awesome. I'm glad I'm helping. I mean, that's really what this is all about. I do my best to be as transparent, to provide help, because I think it's really about helping each other. There's the DLA is awarded 10,000 contracts a day. I can't bid on all the contracts. It's just a finite. My team we're a small business. There's only so much we can do. It's plenty to go around for everyone. And I always say, for folks that join my CMCC, my members only channel of YouTube, that when you come into that classroom, you have to have the mindset that we're all helping each other. Such that it's not a crabs in a barrel, and I can't share with you what I'm doing here and all this good stuff. I mean, of course, we're in business, and unless you got an NDA in place, you want to be smart. It's a competitive landscape. They will tell you, even if you're on SAM.gov or you're working directly with the Department of Health or whoever agency that you're working with, it's cutthroat out here. So the federal government contracting is not for the faint at heart. You have to have great business processes in place. You have to be, smart at protecting, your competitive advantage, of course, because that's just the nature of business. Like if you think about the NFL, you got one team on one side of the field and the team on the other. And if you ever notice them, the coaches are always covering their mouth when they're calling plays in, because they don't want people reading their lips and getting that intel. So because they're trying to win. But it's a team effort. Everyone has to do their part. And you got your trainers, you got, you have all your different components of trying to win the Super Bowl. And that applies to any type of business you're in, especially in federal contracting. This is not a solopreneur game. You're going to have to work with mentors. You're going to have to work with your vendors. You're going to have to, establish relationships with your vendors, establish relationships with the government customers that you're working with. Getting to the point where you have contracting officers that you see their same name on solicitations all the time. If you're starting to see a contracting officer's name more than 5 times for different NSNs that you're going after, hey, guess what? That's because they manage those FSC codes. Guess what? Reach out to them, shoot them an email, give them a phone call, leave them a voicemail. Hey, we're new to the DLA, and we're really excited about supporting you guys, and we're looking forward to growing our business and supporting the DLA going forward. You start to develop that dialogue, and believe it or not, when you start shooting them emails, they'll start responding to you because they're like, oh yeah, I know about this company. Yeah, we've done business with them before, or they're serious about doing business. Because believe you me, those contract officers get thousands of emails from people who are just not serious. And so you have to, cream rises to the top. You have to find a way to be as competitive as possible, and to grow your friends. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Grow your trust, grow that business type of relationship, and it will do you well as your company begins to do business with in federal contracting. And let's see here. James says, just submitted my application to become a service-disabled veteran-owned business with SBA. Fantastic, James. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm looking forward to learning more about, once you're able to get all that, and learning more about that process, because I don't know what that looks like, because I'm not a vet. I didn't support the military by providing my service to the military as being enlisted or anything. So James, that's awesome that you're able to do that. And yeah, I would definitely love to learn a little bit more about that process, because that information, I could, absorb it and help other folks that may come down the pipe who, may need a little assistance as it relates to getting certified as a disabled vet as well. Networking is a must. You're right. Nature's friend. Networking is a must. It's beyond, I think it's one of those things. Even with DIBBS, you kind of look at the bid board and you're just thinking, yeah, you just bid, and it's all, on the website, it's all electronic. I disagree. I believe that getting involved and going to the industry days that the DLA hosts, I believe they got an industry day that's coming up next year in Columbus. And as I get more intel on it, and I'll be able to share that information with my members only folks. I do have a members only forum, like a chat that we have on YouTube, and it's strictly for members only, that I share a lot of information about, things to look out for, just sharing a lot of DLA news that I don't share publicly. I share to folks that support my channel in that way. So for those of you that may be on the fence about my master classes, because a lot of folks say, man, that's kind of expensive, and I go, really? That's 20 years of experience that I put into a master class. I think it's cheap for what you're getting out of it. But however, I do understand we're all are in times where the economy is where it's at, and we have to kind of invest in things that when you're able to invest. But just knowing investing at that level, or investing at just becoming a member of the CMCC members only, I think it's around I think it's $29 or 25 bucks a month or something like that, where you'd be able to gain access to my bi-monthly meetings, my live streams that I do on YouTube. I think James has been a part of a couple of them, and there's a ton of value that comes out of those meetings, just us working together and sharing information. And then all those videos are in a vault for members only, where you're able to access it on a replay at your leisure. And so I think that's probably the most valuable continuous learning program that I have in place right now. For those and again, I think you benefit the most after going through the master class and begin the whole bidding process. I think that continuous learning form is great for you. But for those of who have no idea what's going on with DIBBS, coming into those forums, it may be a little bit kind of over your head, because you don't have the baseline, the prerequisites, I like to call, for success. So anyway, but that's still an avenue for you as you are contemplating investing in yourself and your company, as it relates to my master classes that I've offered. And I won't use this time to talk too much about the master class. I got plenty of videos that you guys have watched. Just make sure you watch them to the end or scroll to the end, because then you'll get a little more information about master classes. Because I think in the lion's share of my videos, I talk about the master classes just to kind of promote it. But a lot of folks don't seem to make it to the end of the videos. They get halfway through and drop off. At least that's what the analytics are saying. So it's a lot of information that people are just kind of missing. But it's all, blood, sweat, and tears are put into it to help you guys be as successful as you can with your journey with the DLA, for sure. Let's see here. Another question comes in from Tamia. Something on 12/12. I have my calendar doing business with the DLA on December the 12th. Yeah, you know what? I'm not exactly sure what you're speaking of. But if you have a link that you want to share, Tamia, with all of us who are in the chat, feel free to drop that link that can, you can share that information about what the DLA has cooking. It may be something that I may have missed, believe it or not, just because, I'm the DLA guru. I don't have access to every single thing that the DLA is doing, but for the things that do cross my path, across my desk, that I think is worth sharing, I always share it with my membership as it relates to DLA ins and outs. So feel free to do that, Tamia. And if you don't want to drop it in the chat, you want to just send it to me via email, as feel free to send me an email, and I'll be sure to share it with as many people as I possibly can as well too. Cool. Well, hey, I got about 4 more minutes in this live stream, this pop-up impromptu live stream. If you got enough time for another question that anyone wants to kind of throw into the chat there, and I'll be able to field it the best way I can. Anyone have any other questions? If no one has, you said you got it off the DLA website. DLA has an introduction to doing business with the DLA on 12/12 Tuesday. Okay, cool. It's on the DLA website. Yeah, it's interesting that they do that quite often to me. As a matter of fact, in my masterclass, I do have a video of that provides some of that information. Well, it's actually a DLA deep dive into DIBBS that is another bonus video that I added into my masterclass recently, because I just thought, man, for folks who have already taken the masterclass, I think this is a great video, especially if you want to get more into the nuts and bolts of DIBBS. And you'll find, it's like 2.5 hours long, this webinar they had. And, I sat in the webinar, and it was amazing to hear the DLA folks that were like, doing the webinar didn't even know everything about DIBBS, even though they were the subject matter experts for in the webinar. It was just unbelievable to me. But well, I shouldn't say unbelievable. It's actually believable, because it's the federal government, and people just know sometimes just a little slither of things and not the full story of things. So, but anyway, it's great to sit in those trainings and get as much information as you can, and then couple that with information from other sources, other, mentors like myself and others in the space. It only just adds value, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time skinning your knee and making mistakes. Because the key to not being successful with the DLA is making too many mistakes where they boot you out the system and you lose your access to DIBBS, because you're not delivering on time, you're not delivering what they asked for, and they'll find that you are a cancer to the supply chain. They will cut the cancer out for sure. So just having the right toolage to make sure that you're not perceived as a cancerous vendor to the DLA's mission is the key. And that's why folks like me are here. Why do I have to constantly change my password? Yeah, the DLA is very particular on cybersecurity. So changing your password on DIBBS is a constant. I mean, not only with DIBBS, but some of the other services that you need. The VSM, for example, the vendor shipping module. You have to change your password there often. I think the vendor shipping module If you don't access your account within 29 calendar days, they will lock you out the system. So the DLA is really sensitive about vendors not, just letting things sit dormant. So you want to always kind of be in there, because for vendors who are bidding on a daily basis, that's part of it. They want you to be part of this bidding pool of vendors that are constantly adding, or are supporting the DLA by bidding. And when you're bidding, that's just I guess the way the cybersecurity software works, where it knows that you're active. So I think that's why they're asking you to change your passwords. Now, that's just my gut feeling. AM there. Um, I've never sat down with the DLA, help desk, and they've given me all the reasons behind the cybersecurity, but it just kind of makes sense to me that that's the reason why. Okay, let's see. I got some thumbs up there, and thank you. All right, I got 12 viewers and 12 likes. That's awesome. So that's 100% parity to viewership and likes. That's awesome in the YouTube space. So thank you for the likes, guys. That means a lot to me that you guys are liking it. My dream is to have 1,000 viewers, talking about the DLA and interested in doing business and being successful in doing business, because a lot of folks that have taken my masterclass have taken that information and are killing the game. I mean, they're getting $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 contracts, supply contracts with the DLA, based off of my methodologies, the software tools that we use in house, and they're using that information in order to empower their businesses for success in the lane that they're in. So again, the DLA awards over 10,000 contracts a day, and they're buying all types of products, from toothbrushes, medical supplies, fuel. So if you're a company and you have access to oil products, the DLA is a customer for you. You see, and they're buying food. They're buying rations. They have this. They have what's called the MRE, which stands for Meals Ready to Eat. So if you're into like the kitchen industry or food services, the DLA can be a customer for you. And I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, I think Tamia said that she was on DIBBS, like logging into DIBBS and just kind of clicking around on DIBBS and trying to get as much information as you can. I mean, DIBBS is a huge website. So again, finding consultants like myself, where you can reach out, schedule one-on-ones, and kind of talk shop. I might be able to help you with my experience and my knowledge base to navigate those systems a little more efficiently as well. Cool. Let's see. Any more questions that you guys may have as relates to it? I wanted to also just pop this on screen real quick for the question when you were asking about, pricing strategies. I wanted to just throw this on screen just real quick. I have some videos that I talk about this as well. Here, let me do this. Let me clear the background. Give me a second. How do you shut this down? Shut that down. Okay. All right, cool. I think you can shut that down that way. All right, cool. So I wanted to put this on screen because this is a tool that I designed actually, and we offer it for sale to the public. And hopefully you can see this tool. This is the NMS part pricing tool, and what this is a custom software that we designed in house, that my team uses in order to store pricing data for products. So for example, let's say you're bidding on a DLA solicitation and you have a title for the product, manufacturer's name, part number, your national stock number, your solicitation number, so forth and so on. You can fill in all these different fields with relevant information to that particular opportunity. And they even have an area in here where you're able to put in your wholesale pricing that you're able to achieve from your vendor. And then you're able to put in your past award information when you do your research on that particular product. And then you're also able to put up in your markup, and you can kind of see in this tool what the profit margins will look like. I'm not going to use this time because we've pretty much run out of time to show you how this tool works, but I do have videos within my catalog that talks about the NMS part pricing tool. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in finding that video, I'll end up at the end of this, I'll put it in the description, where you can, as a matter of fact, you know what? I think it's actually in the description right now. So if you click on the description and you scroll down, and all that great information that I put in the description below, you'll see a reference to the NMS part pricing tool. And if you click on that link, I think there's a YouTube video that talks about the tool, as well as another link where you can actually procure a copy of it for yourself. But this tool is awesome that you can store all of that data into a cloud database. And if you have other other employees or teammates that you're working with, you guys can access the cloud-based tool to have access to your database of pricing for NSNs that go into perpetuity. All right. And so it's just a great tool for you to kind of centralize all your DLA solicitation information that you've bid on, as well as your pricing, your national stock numbers. And the tool is fantastic because you can here, I think here, I'll show you just real quick here because I get excited about this tool. I'm going to show you the output that I have here. Just hit refresh and it's just loading all the information into here. And then there's a little bit of lag, so that might be what we're experiencing here, but I think it's bringing the information into the tool now. There it is. So it literally would take from log file number 1 all the way down to whatever number you may have. And so I'll just kind of scroll it down and just shows you all the different things that you have bid on, puts the date stamp on them and things like that, where you're able to go in and do the find field. You can put in a national stock or any kind of keyword and find that information within the database and bring it back on like within the tool, so you can take a look at past bidding strategies that you may have had in the past or things like that. It's just a great pricing tool that will support, Priscilla, your question, pricing strategies. Just having the right kind of tool helps you in that regard as well. All right, so I got 2 more questions coming in, and then after these questions, I'm going to shut it down, guys, because I still got some more football to watch tonight, and so do you guys. But it says, Matt, I have a free trial SCI Global currently. Do you have a promo code or partnership to get cheaper pricing? Yes, I do, Matt. As a matter of fact, you should have, so the way SCI Global works, anytime that you guys want to gain access to SCI Global, there is a new client referral form that you'll need to fill out in order for me to submit that, in order to get you a discounted price against your annual subscription. Matt, I'm not exactly sure if you followed that process to get your free trial, but that's the only way that you're able to get the discount is through the NMS e-learning systems referral program. So what I would suggest, Matt, just shoot me an email to the fed.contracting@nmsupply.com, and then I can link it up with you and see if I can get you onboarded with a promotional code as well. And with that, Matt, you'll get 30 minutes of free training with me as it relates to doing looking at your SCI Global profile to make sure that that you set that up correctly as well. And let's see here. AM, the products, the DLA orders. Do I need to have a mini warehouse? I have a trucking business, and the DLA orders a lot of engine parts. Yes, so what AM with that question, I would say it depends, because a lot of times if you are, providing these parts that are, if it's one of these things where it's a one-off, where the DLA doesn't have a lot of past award history on it, so you don't know what their forecast potentially would be like into the future. Trying to warehouse certain products may not be beneficial to your business because the DLA just doesn't have a lot of demand for those products. So it really is going to be a function of the demand profile based on past award information, right? Like the number that they purchased in the past typically will give you kind of a little bit of a crystal ball into what the future may hold. And so having a mini warehouse, could benefit you for certain national stock numbers and maybe not. And then also, if you have, I'm not exactly sure where you are locally, but, there are always warehousing options that you may have with warehousing companies that may be in your backyard where the cost kind of comes way down as it relates to that. So that's something that we can definitely talk about if you want to schedule a one-on-one with me, and I can learn a little bit more about these types of truck products that these engine parts that you're talking about. And I can kind of show you our approach of how we look at from a not a pure forecasting, but like how you could potentially predict what that forecast looks like. Because the DLA right now does not provide forecasting data to vendors, unfortunately. This was something that was discussed at their Industry Collider Day that I participated in in this on September 11th in Fort Belvoir, and they had a research and development industry day where they were talking about, that's something that's in the pipeline. The DLA is aware that small businesses have asked this time and time again for years, that it'd be great if the DLA can kind of give us more of an idea of forecasting for national stock numbers so that we can position ourselves more with more intel on, what investment level we as small businesses should have in having that stock available. My thought is, it has to just make sense, right? You don't want to get involved in financing government contracts, because the government has more money than we have. So you don't want to get into a situation where it's diminishing returns on your company and trying to position yourself to support the DLA. It has to be something that's a win-win for all parties involved, in my opinion. So yeah, AM, I hope that kind of answers that question, but I definitely recommend you reach out to me, schedule a one-on-one so we can talk shop, and I can give you more of more of a professional assessment of an approach that you may want to take on if you're looking at warehousing parts. Okay. All right. So looks like we had 15 likes, 11 views. Hey guys, thank you for the likes. It means a ton. Thank you for the Cash Apps that I saw a Cash App that kind of came in here too. So whoever that was that sent me the Cash App, thank you for that. I'll make sure that I'll send you a thank you on that Cash App that just came in for, your contribution, your donation to my channel, and all the work that I'm putting in to empower you guys and just spilling the beans on how to do business with the DLA. I don't think you'll find many people like me in the space. And if you do, fantastic. But I'm coming at it with a different approach. I just want to give information and exchange value. Not that it's a one-way street. It has to be a fair exchange. They always say a fair exchange is never a robbery. And so if you have that attitude, you will only profit, in my opinion, as it relates to your journey with the DLA and working with me. So with that said, thanks again for joining me. My plan is to try to do these lives at least once a week. I'm thinking Sundays are going to be it, or maybe once every other week. So I have my bi-monthly live streams for my members, and then I may do like this public on the alternate weeks. That way you guys can have access to me in some form of fashion every weekend, where you can, assist you with your journey with the DLA. So without any further ado, thanks again for joining me this Sunday. And hey, I'll see you guys at the top.